number 3 on the things I wish I knew before I ventured into broadcasting. Well, my name is Ife Aron Okafor. Welcome back to my channel. Number 3 is language and languages. And somebody who looks at it at face value would think that I'm talking about the same thing. No, I tried to make a distinction between language and languages. Language in this sense is the language that you want to communicate in and with. That is perhaps English for those in Nigeria. We have lots of presenters who communicate in English language because that's our lingua franca. There's also Pidgin, languages like Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, and the rest. So it depends on the language that you want to follow or the language that you choose. Yeah, and you gain mastery in that language as you go along. It doesn't happen in one day. So do not lose heart and say, oh, I am not good in this, I'm not good in that, so I will not do well. No. Nobody gets it right from the first day all the way. Yeah, there is always a starting point. So you can get more proficient in the language, but that means that you also have to avail yourself of trainings. There are also certificate programs where you can learn how to use the English language and communicate better as a broadcaster. Now, the language of communication, I'm talking of improving it in 3 ways. Your word power, that's the number of words that you know and are able to use. Then the strength. Sometimes you hear certain words and you do not know what the synonyms or antonyms are, but then when your vocabulary is strong, you're able to find nexus and differences between words. That's what I mean by the strength of communication. And of course, the depth of communication means how deep is your word power, how deep is your communication strength. So these 3 things I will break down in a subsequent video so we'll understand what it's like. Now, I tell you what, as a broadcaster, it's not enough for you to do your research and then you're telling people about new things, new concepts. The choice of words that you use in communicating to your audiences will determine how seriously they take you. That's what determines, oh, this person is well educated. That's how they perceive your brand as a broadcaster. So you might want to take that very seriously. The language and the strength of your language, how fluid your communication is, your flow, and all of that. So it's very important for you to pay attention to that. The idea is for people to not just learn new things from you. They should also learn new words, new expressions in that language from you. That's what makes you a professional broadcaster. And that's what makes people want to listen to you. Then I talked about languages earlier. And in this sense, I'm talking about beyond the basic language that you choose. If perhaps you chose English, it's important for you to also look at other international languages and choose one extra language to get proficient in because of several reasons that I discovered along the line. A certain guy, when we were in UNIZIC mass communication, he was studying Asian studies, those kind of courses that were regarded as somewhat not, at par with mass comm. He was in the Faculty of Arts, yes, and they were taking borrowed courses from mass communication. So they would come take courses with us. We would sit in the same class, and then we weren't taking them seriously. And at that time, it was while we were in the university that the Confucius Institute, where Chinese language is being taught, was birthed in UNIZIC. So he was one of the first people who got enchanted with that, and he started doing his Confucius course at the center. So we thought he was just, perhaps, but he would manage that with alongside his normal academic program. I tried doing that, and at some point I stopped. But he did it to the point where he got a scholarship to go to China. And guess what? The last I heard of him, of which it's possible that you've seen him on the internet trending as the first Igbo language lecturer at the University of Oxford, his name is Emmanuel Umhoniliora. I was in the same class with him back in Unizik. So when I look at him today, in fact, when I saw him on the internet, I said, I know this guy now. I know this guy. Guess what? He is at the University of Oxford teaching Igbo. And you can already see his name in history books, social studies, civic, because when the effort to resuscitate Igbo language is being mentioned, there's no way you will not talk about him. He took Igbo language global, and he will be celebrated for that, whether you like it or not. The little extra that you do, that thing that you do that others are not even thinking about, is what will set you apart. So that's why I say, using this model, anchor on a global language, a language that has gained global reckoning, like German, Spanish, French, or Chinese, anyone you like. Learn it, get proficient in it as your second big language or global language, if you like. You might find that one day it will become important for people who want to work abroad. This is really, really important for you. If you're proficient in a certain language that is perhaps a lingua franca in a certain place, you will be considered more seriously than somebody who doesn't know the extra language. So that's very important. There's also this story, before I close, about a certain lady. She's also in communications, but of course she works at a ministry. And she told me that she got the opportunity to learn sign language, but she didn't take it seriously. She thought, will I ever need this skill? So months down the line, the ministry needed the services of a sign language instructor. And they had to advertise to get somebody, because within the ministry there was no one. So they got somebody from outside, and the person is on a 120K per month salary. Now, what if this lady had taken that initiative and just learned that skill, even if she didn't need it at the time? So those are the things, the little extra things that you do, because communication is life. So anything that links to language, communication, whatever it is, and you just have to decide what to learn as an extra, because you never can tell where it will be required, and you might be the only person with that skill. Well, if you got value from this video, please remember to share with your friends and invite them to join our classes. Look below, there's a subscribe button, a subscribe bell actually, so please click on that subscribe bell if you haven't already done so, so you don't miss any of these insightful videos that I'll be dishing out all the time. My name is Ife Aron-Okafor, a former senior special assistant to the governor of Anambra State, a broadcaster and a media coach right here at Molive Media School. The next video will take us to the next level. Do not miss it.